All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I'm going to take a little break from the quantum sector. Well, kind of. One of them is a quantum ticker on here, but we're going to look at RR, we're going to look at BBAI, and then we're going to look at ARQQ here, okay? And look, I know there have been so many different stocks running, and I know it's really hard to ignore those, right? It is. There is something to be said about finding the next ones to take off, okay? Again, I'm not going to talk about them on this one, right? But we've already broken them all and flown here and across all the other, IonQ. I don't even need to go through the rest, right? But all of them, we well over all five and flying beyond flying beyond flying, right? There are some tech stocks that haven't quite been able to do that, right? And you can see RR, and I'm about to get into the technical shortly, right? But this one might be setting up to do that, right? That's the maybe right there. With BBAI, look, this one's obviously already taken off a little bit. You can definitely say it's already started to fly with a little bit more than a 2x move, right? Basically from the 150s to the 3 pluses, right? But again, this one hasn't flown, right? Like SoundHound has, right? SoundHound from down here all the way to up here, right? Maybe instead of being sad that you missed SoundHound, check out the other ones that aren't quite as there, right? And again, I'll talk about the lower indicators, but yeah, those are really pretty to my eyes, right? And then what was the last one? Wow. Oh yes, ARQQ. Apologies. So I will say I remember we used to talk a lot about this stock in the Discord. I remember ARQQ like the back of my head, actually, like back of my hand, excuse me. We haven't talked about it for a while, and again, I think it fits very well in this video. Most of the quantum stocks have taken off. I remember seeing RGTI and QUBT when these were still down here and those other ones had already taken off, right? So again, I get real disappointed when I miss them too, believe me. And you got to imagine so many people throw me, man, NRDY, so many people were telling me to look at that thing. It's had an amazing run, and I definitely feel a little bad. Like, I feel bad I don't catch them too. I really do. We're all just simple little humans here, right? But there is a better thing to do, and that's go back out and start hunting again. All right. So before we do go any further, though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? Excuse me. We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it, all right? So let's talk about RR. I actually like this view. I don't think we need to zoom in yet, but I will very shortly, all right? And look, I hope you see it before. I actually even want to keep zooming out. Let's start with this 100 moving average line, right? This blue, oh man, definitely never. All of a sudden, just this big difficulty. In my last few videos on RR were, and I think it was the headline on the thumbnail, all about the 100 moving average. If you can break the 100 moving average, all of a sudden I have to believe you're going to go to the 200 moving average. If you can break the 200, if you can break all 5, you start to fly, and that's obviously what we're hunting right here, right? So these are nice, don't get me wrong, it's nice to see, but there's still some confirmation that needs to happen, okay? Look, this was a decent candle. Obviously, you can see it does get over the biggest candle to the left. That's this one right here. Man, that's a doji in my eyes, right? And I like the gap up. I like how it's a bigger body than, hey, maybe this doji right here. But I think those wicks have me a little on the, I don't know side, right? Literally the exact same thing today. Again, some might say it's a better doji, right? Less people were worried about the downside. More people were excited about the upside. The body's even bigger than this one. Obviously, we're well into the next biggest candle, right? Where's this guy right here? This girl for my ladies watching? 132. Yeah, I would watch 132 for sure, but I think I still like this 164 line. Yeah, that's basically top and bottom of that. It's basically half of that. It's a doji right there. Maybe I can lower it a little bit. Maybe this line will be better. Top of that right there. That's actually a cleaner top and bottom of that. All right. I think 157 should be next. Again, keep an eye on 132. I think if this breaks 132, that should go to 157. That's just under a 20% move. Maybe even because again, roughly 15 cents is 10%, right? It's 13 cents. We're adding roughly 30 cents there. That's not a bad move, even if you just wait for that buck something, that buck 30 that I just mentioned, right? But again, I'm liking the moving at the lower indicators down here, right? Volume is clearly growing. 33 million's a big number. And I say it with love, RR is a small ticker. So for this thing to actually be pushing 30 millions, that's big. You can see it's significantly been higher at the right moments, right? So a little bit more of a like I like more of a slope like that. That just seems a little more consistent and sustainable to me. Hey, as long as volume doesn't dump, this still has a run. And again, we've been here. I think there's a real shot that oh we're actually over that. Interesting. Oh, we're actually even over that. Oh wow. Okay. So my next expectation is up here. We need 54 million shares in a day. We need 54 million shares in a 7 hour day. We need almost 8 million shares an hour. Watch 8 million shares per hour by the second hour. If this thing's pushing 16, maybe even 17. Truth be told, even 15 is not that bad, right? Because that's kind of like 14, 15 point something right there, right? So yeah, get me close to 18, get me over 18 million shares by that second hour. RR might be battling that 130, if not already pushing for that right there. But yeah, decent things happening here, and it's actually holding after hours. I don't care too much about after hours, but when you push a big 26% gain, there's sometimes reason that you would come down. Look, I think it's really important to 117 needs to hold. If we lose 117, we're going to come down to 110. That's the 200 moving average. That is a must hold. From there, it could be a very quick fall down below that $1 mark right there. End of the day, though, I'm really, really hoping we make our way up, and the indicators seem to be pushing it that way. Looking at the weekly, look, we are coming up to that 50 moving average. Where's that sitting at? 149. Do I want to lower that line to 149? Let me see. What's the top of you? That's 147. No, I like our line. What's 50% of you? That's 140. No, I like 157. I'm not going to take it. But I think it's important to remember 132 and 149. That might make this battle to 157 just a little more difficult. Again, get me into 16, 17, 18 million shares in that second hour. Oh, man, that could actually really start doing the job right there, all right? I'm not going to talk about serve on this one, but look, serve is trying to break the golden line as well. Serve is also hasn't really taken off much, and it's just I actually find it a little interesting that serve is under RR's volume today. It's been a lot more consistent, right? I actually really like that slope a lot more. But hey, volume is king, right? Volume's queen for the ladies watching this thing. And when your slope starts to go up, your price will start to go up, rather almost identical to that, boom, 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 right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. The next one I want to talk about is BBAI. And I think my favorite part about why I want to talk about this one is there was actually some disagreement on the Discord. So earlier today, someone asked about BBAI. I liked it. I really did. And you know what? There was a little disagreement, and it was from a moderator, which I love even more. Right? Again, I don't think anyone is better than anyone. Doesn't matter if you have a little title or not. Right? But disagreement's a good thing. It really is. Right? And there is question about there's some double crater thing. I don't really know double crater very, very much, right? But he sees a lot more resistance than I do. And again, I'll talk about my side, right? But I think there isn't a lot more to prove, but again, what I love is the disagreement, right? That's where you have some good conversations, and really both people learn end of the day, right? So BBAI, again, you kind of saw it. I like what I'm seeing here. I think it echoes the same thing I just said with RR though. Look, that's a nice candle. That's a decent candle. There's no confirmation here just yet. We need that little bit more to really believe the lines are broken, right? We're over them, but there's a difference between being over and breaking a line, right? So, hey, really quickly, if you can subscribe, if you can share this video, it does wonders with the algorithm. So, again, I'm seeing some beautiful technical things happening here, okay? We had a very, very tight and a very, very long battle with all five moving averages. My goodness, look how long that battle was. Basically since April of this year, right? All of a sudden we do break all five moving averages. Not the most confirmation in this run either, right? Good candle, dojis don't count. Good candle, nope. Good, not even that. That's a good candle. None of those are confirmation. And like I already said, that was a good candle, but that's not really confirmation, right? But hey, this thing can go from 2 to 4. This thing can literally double on some random little candles and dojis as long as it's over the 8 moving average, right? So it's not the prettiest climb. It's not the most sustainable, uptrend, but it's an uptrend. And really, the 8 and the 20, excuse me, they are holding very, very well, right? There was an article not that long ago. It connected BBAI to Palantir. I haven't seen any recurring articles about that since. Look, when you can connect a small company to a big company, that's an amazing thing for the small company. Sometimes it's a little insulting for the big company, and I personally, I thought it was a little unfair to Palantir to say, hey, BBAI is maybe the next one of you. Like, no, no, no. There's a lot of other AI plays that are a lot maybe closer to Palantir. You know what I mean? Like, that's truly a league of its own at this point, right? Excuse me, but hey, if someone believes BBAI is close to Palantir and they have the ability to publish an article about it, whatever brings the volume works for me as long as it doesn't dump, right? And I would say we've been sustaining that 50 million shares pretty well. And I think the ability to basically sustain up here and significantly higher than the 50-day on the volume line, right? Like that's going to help these doji-esque little ups and downs, right? Green becomes red. That's the opposite side of one of my favorite rhymes, right? But maybe we have a chance for more. At this point, I actually think it's a little realistic to think about this. I guess that's a little too aggressive, and again, we need confirmation, right? So let's do some educated stuff here. I think that's our line. 380. You can see the open of this was actually 375. I'm looking at a February 2023 candle. I think this is the one we got to break. I think if we can, maybe even this, 360. What's 360 on here? Nah, that's not that much. That's not even 10%. Yeah, I think this is our candle. Oh, that's 4. No, it was the bottom of that one. 380. I think I'm okay with 380, give or take. Yeah, that was the 375 line right there. Yeah, I think that's what we're looking for confirmation. If we can break 380, I think all of a sudden that's going to take us into that 517 line. Look, I don't know double crater. I'm assuming it's this. The one thing I have heard is W for winning and M for murder. Okay, you can kind of see there was a little bit of an M right there and it kept going down. This is a kind of big W right here. And really, if you can get over the peak, maybe it's worth drawing a line right there at 430. But 430 is probably a really important number. Do I need to lower this to here? I think so. I think so. I think I like that 430 line right there instead. So for now, I think there's a real shot at this 340 going to 430, right? Give or take adding $1. Look, that's a big 33% move, just rough math, right? I think if you break 340, that's when the W for winning might do its thing. End of the day, you know I'm a moving average guy, and hey, we're over the 8 and the 20, and the 20 is doing the bounce. Just give me that confirmation. And I still think that 380 is the confirmation number. Volume is key here. I think as long as we're over 50 million shares, BBAI should sustain up. As we lose 50 million shares, basically just those right there, right? That's where we start to see a little bit of trouble up here. If we can start pushing 60-ish, 70-ish million, if we can start getting 10 million shares per hour, nearly 20 million by that second hour, that is where BBAI can really do some dangerous things, all right? Look, we're over all the moving averages on the weekly. Again, same lack of confirmation. Good candle, don't count. Good candle, don't count. Decent candle setting up. It's still a little early in the week, right? But MACD, RSI, volume, they're all there. On the daily, MACD, RSI, and volume are all there. Just give me a little bit more to believe, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. The little splash of quantum on this video will be ARQQ. Truth be told, I haven't thought about this one in a while, but I know we've talked about this a bunch on the Discord. So there's so many different things I see that I want to just talk about. One of them actually is all the way zoomed out here in all the way zoomed out here for a potential gap fill that might come from this February March 2023 window. Let's start in the immediate real quick, okay? It's funny to see a reverse split take off. I always say reverse split is dead, and believe me, I still sincerely believe it, even though obviously we went from 5 to 30 plus, right? That's more than a 6x move after reverse split. I sincerely believe most things go down significantly, not up. All right, so we've seen it actually across a couple of the sector tickers. I think there were a few reverse splits here, but hey, end of the day, when the sector is strong, when the NASDAQ's strong, there are things that people are willing to ignore and forget and forgive. You know what I mean? The other thing that I do like, look at this volume, right? And you kind of saw me zoom out when I was talking about that February gap fill. I mean, I don't even know what's the most impressive. The fact that the biggest volume days in trading history were right here, or the fact that we're sustaining a volume that arguably is higher than ever in history. You know what I mean? So you can pretty much say we're sustaining 1 million shares, and any day that's 1 million shares used to be the third biggest. Now it's just kind of the average of what we've been doing in the last like month, right? So a lot of really, really big strength coming down here in the volume. It's just it's such a big sustained thing. And again, you see me talk about 100 million shares and this and that, right? Like to some, that 2.5, that 1 million number, oh my gosh, those are record numbers. You know what I mean? So ARQQ is bringing good things in the volume, and again, that's going to help a lot of people forget about the reverse split and then the strength of the Nasdaq and whatnot, right? Um, I'm so far liking what I'm seeing today, right? I think today especially, look in the box over there. The high of the day was 33, the close of the day was 33. To the penny, people kept buying and buying and buying and buying and buying until the market said we're closed. Come back tomorrow if you want more. You know what I mean? And a very healthy 75 RSI, a nice divergence on the MACD. It's still positive. And again, that's a big volume day. This candle, what this day right here was the biggest day in stock history. Today is actually the second biggest day in stock history, right? So some very good volume things are happening here. Volume is a big part of momentum, and yeah, I mean there's a lot to like on ARQQ. Look, this is a big battle with the 100 moving average, okay? We were over it, but there's a difference between over and breaking. Doji don't count, Doji don't count. Oh man, that's setting up to be the candle that counts so far, right? So still a lot of time between today and the close of Friday, right? We have FOMC tomorrow. Powell just needs to do the job, but yeah, it seems like we've broken the 100. I don't see a 200 here, right? This stock has not been alive for 200 weeks just yet. We've seen the sector push into the 90s, push into the very high 90s. And just look at it, right? Let me just draw the line. We are higher than we've ever been on the MACD. That line's only at 81. We're actually at 85 right now, right? For previously, it's never been over 72. right? So very, very good things are happening on a number of different indicators. And yeah, that's a beautiful thing, right? So I'm liking what I'm seeing. I am. I think there's real reason to expect more here. The one thing I gotta say, let's talk about this February gap fill. Filling the gap is often harder than it seems like it should be. The last real time we were over that line was back here in June of 2023. That's a single candle. I don't count that. That's kind of an insignificant horizontal. That's the best last one, too, right there, right? So it's been more than a year and a half, if I'm looking at the rough math, since we've been over this line. Clearly, we're over it today, but make me believe we've broken it, right? So I think the next place will probably come is right there. Damn, that was a really good drawn line. 37. 37 is going to be a hard number to break, but if it does, we start climbing the gap, and all of a sudden, maybe 49 becomes realistic, okay? Excuse me, ARQQ. There's been a lot of other quantum stocks that have ran. Maybe this one's next. I don't know, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even did I look at the weekly? I did. We talked about the 100. Duh. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, I appreciate you so, so much.